Alright, so today we have our experiment where we are going to test the efficacy of an enzyme. And in this case, it is an enzyme called amylase. So, to start, we're going to do an initial observation on two different liquids. In one beaker, we are going to place some normal tap water. In the other beaker, we are going to place some water mixed with cornstarch. This is just regular cornstarch, the kind you might get at a grocery store. You know, white powder can be used as a thickening agent, can be used in baking, things like that. And it is a starch. A starch is a complex carbohydrate, meaning it is made of a lot of complex sugars put together that could be broken down into simpler sugars, which are energy. All right, to start, I'm going to pour some of this regular tap water right here in this beaker, and in the other beaker, I'm going to pour some of our starch solution. Let's mix this around a little bit. All right, so first observation, let's go ahead and make observations about the difference between regular tap water and water mixed with cornstarch. What do we see? Regular water, water with cornstarch. Observe. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some iodine to each solution. We will add the iodine to the water with nothing else in it, and we will add the iodine to the water mixed with the cornstarch or our starch solution. And let's make observations and see the differences in that. So I'm going to put some iodine right here into this one. And I'm going to put some iodine solution right here into this one. Alright, let's give these a little mixy mix. Alright. Now we're going to make our second observation. Remember, this is the water without anything else in it with iodine. This is our starch solution with iodine. They're clearly very different. Let's make our observations. How does iodine react with starch? How does iodine react with just water? Observe. Now at this point, what we're going to do is we are going to spit into this particular solution. This is the starch solution with the iodine. We're going to spit in it. We're going to introduce some saliva to this mixture, and then we're going to make some other observations and see what happens. I do apologize. It's pretty gross. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to take this solution and we're going to put it into a warm water bath, kind of something that would simulate the same temperature that would be in our bodies, and we're going to see how this changes. So you should have made your initial observations. It doesn't look too much different right now than it did before, but we're going to check in it about 5 minutes or so, and we're going to see how things go from there. Okay, after about 5 minutes in the water bath, this is what our solution looks like. Let's make some observations. What do you notice about the color? So make some observations about the color. We'll go ahead and put it back in that water bath, and then we'll check it in about 10 minutes and see how it looks. Alright, this is after about 10 minutes in the water bath. Again, let's make another observation. What do we notice now? You should start seeing a bit of a pattern here. So let's make our observations about the color at about 10 minutes, and then we will do one more at about 15, and I think you can probably guess what's going to happen. We'll go from there. Alright, so now it's been about 15 minutes in the water bath. Let's make another observation. What do we notice about the color? Now again, if you're paying attention, you should have started to notice the pattern. First off, remember when we had the two separate beakers, the one with the starch solution, the one without. Remember back to what that color looked like when we put the iodine just right into the water. There's that reddish brown color. The moment we put the iodine into the starch solution, we got a very different reaction. What the iodine was doing is the iodine was essentially reacting with the starch, and the color change indicates the presence of complex carbohydrates within the solution. When we spit into the solution, we introduce saliva, which contains an enzyme called amylase. What amylase is supposed to do is it's supposed to break down the complex carbohydrates into simple sugars. Therefore, the iodine indicator, which would indicate the presence of starch based on how darkly colored it is, that's how much starch is in a solution, or how many complex carbohydrates. As we can see over time, the color is lightening more and more and more. So what does that tell you? What is the amylase doing to the starch in this solution, which is getting the color indicator to lighten over time? Think about it.